Max Verstappen offers fresh retirement hint as new reason to stay in F1 emerges. Max Verstappen has explained that he would consider extending his stay on the F1 grid, should F1 bosses decide to reduce the number of races on the calendar. The 2024 schedule contains a record-breaking 24 Grand Prix with the additional burden of 6 sprint weekends. Last year's 22-race schedule pushed the grid and the paddock to breaking point, with members of all 10 teams looking visibly exhausted at the season finale in Abu Dhabi. George Russell, Carlos Sainz and Valtteri Bottas all called for action regarding the excessive demands placed on the community off the back of that calendar. With 2 more races on the menu for 2024, this is playing on the mind of Verstappen, who is already unsure of his long-term future in the sport. The Dutchman's current long-term Red Bull contract expires in 2028, and the 26-year-old hasn't ruled out competing in other racing series instead of extending his stay in F1. Asked by Motorsport.com whether reducing the number of races on the calendar would extend his F1 career, Verstappen replied, "Absolutely." Explaining his reasoning, he continued, "That has to do with the quality of life in general. At a certain point, I think you're just kind of done with it. The racing itself is fun, but everything around it, with the traveling and with the marketing days, at a certain point, it eats away at you. Then it also doesn't matter what you earn. In the end, it's more about being happy with what you do." The Dutchman later added, "Everyone is different, and from the age of 8 or 9 I have been living according to a full schedule. Or at some point you start thinking, is this still worth going away from home for 24 race weekends a year, plus simulator days and the marketing days? Those are things you don't really enjoy as a driver, but of course you do them because it's part of the job. But at some point, you're done with that.